Hi everyone, welcome back to JP WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well and having a good week. The pre-season is over. The official games are now starting, and this is the first preview of the season where we are going to be focusing on the first round of the League Cup, where we welcome Championship competition Portsmouth to the London Stadium for a 3 o'clock kickoff this Saturday afternoon, live on Sky Sports. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts made by Admiral and Umbro, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area, and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter, as they're currently supporting a hell of a lot of food banks. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you'll be helping those the less fortunate than you and I. So let's crack on straight with it. To look at the officials, the referee is a man called Adam Hertzeg. I've never heard of him. His assistants are Alistair Nelson and Hugh Gilroy. Matchboard duties, aka fourth official, is Harrison Blair. So 12 months of no VAR except when we get into the FA Cup. Bliss. Now, the last time we played Pompey was all the way back in 2012 when we were last in the Championship. More on that when it comes to the league game fixtures. We won't really dwell on that itself. We haven't faced Pompey in a League Cup game ever. Only the FA Cup is the more recent one, and even that was just as World War II was about to start. So in January, February 1939 is the last time we played Pompey in the FA Cup. Everything before and after that has pretty much been it's pretty much been league the whole way through. Now, the last time Pompey had any success in the League Cup was all the way back in 91-92 season, which was the semi-finals against Liverpool, drawing in both legs and losing penalties on the second leg. Now, we've not exactly had much luck in this either, as our best runs haven't really got past the semis either. Man City 13-14, Birmingham 10-11 seasons spring to mind straight away. And our last League Cup final, ironically, was also against Liverpool, who we just mentioned just now about Pompey's opposition, but that was all the way back in 1981. So, of course, for both teams, this is going to be a bit of a scalp. Now, under manager John Machino, Portsmouth blend a high intensity and vertical pressing with a highly adaptable approach to possession. Now, they are well known for tactical flexibility. The team pivots between a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-1-2-3 formations, relying on rapid ball progression and also aggressive work rate off the ball. Now, this is something we're going to really have to focus on, because out of possession, they play with an aggressive high press. They're highly organised and play with an on the front foot mentality when defending with a high line. Now, in relation to being in possession, this is where it gets a little bit tricky for us at the minute. They're known to play with speed and intensity to get the ball up to the forwards with a slow, methodical build-up play. Now, the problem is one of the reasons why I'm really worried about this is because obviously, you know, we've let a couple of people go in terms of Fernandez, Potts as well, who's on the verge of, if he hasn't, well, by the time you guys get to see this, he would have already signed for Club Bruges, and also we've sold Summerfield. We haven't brought anybody in yet at the time of this recording. Hopefully we will have something in around about the game itself. Otherwise, yeah, squeaky bum times. But in terms of Portsmouth, they will look to force any opposition they play against into wide areas or force them into long balls for the defence to pick up and counter-attack. So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Now, in possession itself, their style of play is very focused on speed and purpose to get the ball into the final third and then play with a slow, methodical build-up as a not that far off what we were talking about previously. Now, they are capable of playing out from the back, but they do tend to use a direct stroke long ball style with fullbacks pushing up for the Poundland version of Man City style passing. Now, in relation to that, what I'm saying is they're passing interchanges and using attackers to play the ball into the box. So everything is very much into your box as soon as possible. So any mistakes and we will be hit on the counter-attack with a possession-based game. Basically, they will hit us on the break with heavy possession, and also for that matter, we really need to keep an eye out on a few players, and this is where it becomes available for the patrons only. So looking at the starting 11, guys, it's was very difficult to try and figure out exactly the best style at the moment. Now, but this is as always, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on this. And but yeah, these are the honestly, guys, these doing these are bloody difficult at the best of times, but especially with the squad that it is at the moment, we are very light in positions that we need. We need another striker, definitely. We need at least maybe even two. You know, we need at least a left winger. We need another midfielder. Sorry, a midfielder, I should say. Obviously, you know, James Ward-Prowse has been confirmed that he's gonna wipe the slate clean and start again afresh. Basically, because we've got nobody else to choose from at the moment. Really, I don't you don't doesn't matter how you want to spin it. That's the way the situation is. And also, for that matter, we need a few couple of defensive midfielders. We certainly need a couple of centre backs, and we need a left back and possibly a right back, depending on what's going on. But guys, this is the starting 11 that I'm looking to see. But before we go into the animation itself, it's not going to be as grandiose as the previous previews where I've done that, but it's still relatively the same sort of message. It's just a shame that we let Freddie Potts go, because I thought he would be the perfect choice. He was certainly my first choice doing the research and thinking about this, to play in defensive midfield alongside Kante. But this is the starting 11 that I would put out if I was in charge. So thank you very much for your time, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, as you've noticed, there's been an edit or two on here. Reason being is because the Patreon have a full access to full unedited videos and podcasts. What you've missed is players to look out for from the Pompey position. I've gone into some detail there, and also the injuries for both teams as well. So it is accurate at the time of this recording. It may change by the time you guys get to see this on Thursday. But guys, if you want to become a Patreon, links in the description below. £2.50 plus VAT with a 7-day free trial for being an academy graduate. Or if you want to go to another tier, just an extra £1 a month, £3.50 plus VAT. All the details are all explained on the Patreon link, but you'll have a look at it. But in the meantime, guys, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Are you worried that we've got no players coming in at the minute? I'll try and do, as I say, in the video that went up yesterday, on Wednesday, yesterday for you guys. The format has changed slightly. So the full-time thoughts will be available on the podcast, and then the video is going to be available later just to reinfect the point. But the podcast will be my literally instant reaction once the game's done. But other than that, everything else is pretty much straightforward. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves, take care, and I'll speak to you very soon. All the best now.